Before we get started, I would let you know that I started a brand new channel called Tuesday Thoughts. There, I will talk any interesting stuff like will the economy collapse because of this virus, and now because of this virus. How long will it take us to create the vaccine and to rich childhood families is as rich as well think? Or over the things such as the illuminations is real or not, some fascinating facts about World War II, and a lot of the other interesting stuff. So hit the channel by the clicking the link in the descriptions and subscribe. The pandemic seems to have struck everywhere, from the single employee to the world wealthiest people. It's not half of the year yet, and the number of the billionaires has already dropped to 2095 from 2150, and their combined wealth fell to just $8 trillion from 8.7. It seems like life is difficult up there on the top, but most of them should not complain because almost half of them simply inherited their wealth. Of course, it's not easy to sustain so much wealth, but it's way more difficult to challenging the market that much money in the first place. How long do you think you need to make $1 billion? Or let's take the smaller number of the about $100 million, or even just $1 million. Assuming you are the professional who makes $100 an hour, which is the multiple times more than the average wage, it will take you almost 5 years to make $1 million if you don't pay taxes and save every salary, every penny. Sounds not bad, right? But to make the $1 billion, you need almost 5,000 years if you wanted to compare with the likes of the Bezos and Gates. If you need to work for the 480,000 years, but you probably won't even live for the more than 100 years. So what does it take to get rich? A lifetime, maybe even multiple lifetimes? That's why 45% of the all billionaires have inherited their wealth. Has cheat codes you can't attain one unless you are going to use them. Even if you manage to earn the $1,000 on an hour, the only way to build wealth is to understand the system and take advantage of it. Wealth is making money while you are sleeping. Don't aim to make six fingers, aim to make six fingers while you are sleeping. We associated wealth with the yacht, superjets, and supercars. Supercars might be in the reasonable range, but flying private or owning a yacht is so expensive that even most millionaires can't afford them. Private jets usually cost tens of the millions of dollars. On the top of that, it takes another few $1,000,000 for the maintenance every year. You can't be spending every penny on earth onto that private jet. You still need to shelter over your head and bread on the table. You have to earn tens of the millions of the dollars and a year to afford a private jet or a yacht. Even those who are making so much money are using private jets membership at best, because again, private jets are so expensive that even millionaires can't afford them. But yachts even more. Those huge yachts you see on the screen of your smartphone are beyond what even billionaires can afford, since their price tag goes beyond hundreds of millions of dollars to several billion. A luxury life might seem attractive, but attraction wealth can break you. Being meaningfully strong enough to handle so much stress, it's easy after the long day. You can come back home to chill while watching Netflix, but the CEO of your company that drives a Bentley can't afford that. He has no such things living at work. Imagine having dinner with your suppose and them having 100 other things in your mind that you haven't finished yet. Whether you go to the bed 1 or 2 a.m., the alarm will still go for 6 a.m. sharp every single day, even on a Sunday and a Saturday. And you can't afford to hit that snooze buttons. There is no such things I don't want to do this or I can't do that. You have to get the job done one way or another. There is no one you can turn to because everyone turns to you. Every decisions you make will impact on ton of the other people's investors on the one side, employers on the others, and you have to survive somehow in the middle. Didn't do enough today? Perfect. Now you have 200 things to do tomorrow. Vacations. The very concept of the vacations or the even weekends is earned from the memory. What you're going to delegate, what you don't. Where is your focus? Is the budget accurate? Is the cash flow in balance? How is the team feeling? Is morale high or low? Where do you place your next bet? Your chief engineer wants to leave the company and you can you stop him? If not, have you already found the replacements? And endless numbers of the decisions is lying on your desk waiting for you, from planning to everything else, and most importantly you are responsible for each of them going wrong. The moment you shift focus to HR only, that memory your products suffer, and you lead engineers that quitting or vice versa. The moment you drive to the office with the Ferrari, the entire culture of the company turns upside down. The rest of the team will start blowing the company budget as if there is no tomorrow. You made it look possible. The company is making money. Let's all have fun. You're responsible for their actions. The entire company will take the example of you. So you have to set your bar high enough to create the culture that leads to the company to the right directions. Late for the meetings. Next time your lead engineer would be late, so as the rest of team. In fact, now they would start tomorrow. You are literally expected to make no mistakes at all because every mistake carries with enormous consequences that your company might not be able to afford. You can afford parties through, but that can you easily soften you. If your focus isn't where it's supposed to be, the business will definitely suffer. Sometimes it's luck. You are at the right time with the right people at the right place with the right idea and the right skills. You climb the top of quickly, but what's exceptions because the overwhelmingly vast majority of the people will have to spend decades to climb up the top, and all that is to waiting for you. There is endless work. People think that somewhere at the top of there is the place that you reach where you can relax and enjoy life, and they would scarify their mental and even physical health to achieve it. Fortunately or unfortunately, there isn't. That's why a wise man once said, "Stop hoping for the complications of everything in life. Life is a flow. It stops when you get buried 6 feet down and ground. Till then, it is the challenge that you take every single day. When you are in school, you want to get to the college. When you get to the college, you realize that life isn't glamorous in the college as you imagined. So you wait to graduate to get the proper job. When you get a job, you realize that you need to get the better positions to enjoy the pleasures life has to offer. And as you keep climbing the ranks, you keep imagining that your next step is going to be your final destinations. Little do you know that time isn't waiting for you. At some point, you will question yourself, what's next? Why am I hustling so much? especially when you solve all the problems that money can solve. It takes a universe to discipline and willpower to keep doing what you are doing. Such thoughts lead to the depressions and can break you. Chasing money isn't really the great purpose. You see, the moment you earn enough to keep all the bills collectors away from your door, travel to all the places you have always imagined, and bought that fancy cars, you lose your purpose to earn more, but in the reality is you didn't have much purpose in the first. To avoid falling into the depressions, we need to be valuable members of society, and that perfectly assigns with creating values. I don't have to lecture you on the fact that the more value you bring to the society, the more money you would probably be making, and eventually more wealth you will be able to build. Every morning you wake up, the goal should be taking the best out of the day, doing your best to move one tiny step higher. At the end of the day, what is success? Nothing but the small good decisions are taken over the long period of time. It doesn't matter what path you have chosen to get rich. If you focus on the doing your best every day, you will get closer to your goal. Eventually, those small little achievements that means nothing in the short run will turn into the big giant leap. Don't focus on the one run, you might not live to see it. Focus just on today, on the how much you can get done today. These simple habits will have the greatest impacts in your results. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up and leave the comments, because that will really help the channel. And of course, hit the subscribe button if you're new around here. Thanks for watching, and until next time.